Hello, everyone. This is Rick, and welcome to Astral Club. This is Robert Monroe's Year 3000. Before we get into it, just want to mention a few things. First up is Patreon. If you'd like to support the work here of Astral Club, you can certainly do so on Patreon. When you join, you get a chat function where, of course, you can talk with everyone. You get a direct message to me and also advance episodes on Sunday. If that sounds interesting, then just go to the description and there's a link there to Patreon. Next up, Astral Projection Lessons. If you'd like a lesson one-on-one with me, work with folks now all over the world, and we've had some great success. If that sounds interesting, then just go to the description. There's an email there. Just ask for more information. And lastly, playlists. We got some great playlists that you can use to maybe check out some episodes you missed somewhere along the way. And we got playlists like Space and Aliens, interviews, time travel, and a lot more. So check it out, and maybe you'll be able to check out some episodes that somehow just passed you by. Okay, let's get into it then. Bob Monroe's Year 3000. In Monroe's book, Far Journeys, he talks about visiting a possible future after the year 3000. And it has all the hallmarks of a beautiful human utopia. I think it's possible for us to get there. Not without a lot of work and a lot of changes, but I think it's possible. There was a number of people recently, and maybe it's because some of the episodes, have been a little on the darker side. And they've asked, well, are there any, positive futures out there? And there certainly are. I just can't pick them usually. I just go to a year and I describe what I see. But this is one that Bob found. And, I always wanted to go there, but I always had something else going on. But, based on some of these people leaving comments, I decided to check it out. And so I reread the section that Bob wrote to kind of get a good feeling for this particular possible timeline. So I phased out of my body the way I usually do, kind of like a man slipping out the back door of a boring modern art exhibit. One second I'm lying there in bed, the next second I'm rising through the layers of the astral into the wider field where thoughts echo louder than conversation. I set my intent the way Monroe taught. Take me to the future after the year 3000, the one that Robert Monroe saw. When I came to, because as you know, I always kind of black out, I emerged into a landscape that kind of looked like someone crossbred a Zen monastery with a physics lab. Everything was curved, no straight lines, no corners. Buildings shimmered like heat rising off asphalt, except everything was cool to the touch. And you can sense temperature, even though you don't suffer from it one way or another. I could see people, but not people. They were longer, slimmer, faintly luminous, drifting through the air like they'd forgotten about knees and gravity. A woman suddenly materialized in front of me, wearing a white, loose-fitting shift dress. She was tall, radiant, unmistakably human, with a serene look that could lower your blood pressure. Instantly, her eyes were deep pools. Her hair was black and shoulder length, and her skin was a kind of silky tan color. "Welcome, Rick," she said. Why do these folks always know I'm coming? I don't know. Anyway, this is the part where I'm supposed to be impressed, right? But by now, everyone in the multiverse knows my name, I guess. Thanks, just visiting. I heard you folks survived the year 3000 without blowing yourselves up, joining a galactic cult, or turning into AI houseplants. Nice work. She smiled the way a parent does when a child says something adorably ignorant. "Call me Arjana," she said, "one who remembers becoming." A man appeared beside her, kind of out of nowhere. He was a little broader, with eyes like also deep water. "I am Taval, I anchor." "Anchor what?" I asked. He looked at me the way monks look at tourists. Consciousness, he said. Oh, of course, I muttered. Silly me. They guided me across a terrace that was floating about 20 feet above the ground. Below us, transparent structures pulsed with soft color. No machines, no screens, just intention shaping form. Taval explained, we reorganized ourselves after the great reset of mind. I didn't ask more about that, I should have, but it was some sort of huge social and cultural and intellectual change. The human species learned to operate without emotional turbulence. Arjanan added, we still feel, but without the extraction systems. No harvesting, no manipulation. Loosh occurs naturally, not as a commodity. Interesting to hear loosh pop up again. If you remember, loosh is this substance that humans and animals, and maybe even plants to some degree, I don't know. Anyway, it's generated without our knowledge. Usually it happens when emotions are involved, like love or even hate and fear. And it's been collected by at least one alien race. So that's what loosh is. But of course, I said, there it is. Monroe's famous energy where a thing of the past can evolve from the cosmic cattle harvest. So I said, what does a day look like for humans in the year 3000 plus? You guys, meditate all day? Make energy smoothies? Practice advanced floating techniques? Arjun laughed. We live in service to curiosity. Taval gestured to a group in the distance. They were standing in a circle, their bodies flickering slightly, like they were shifting between densities. They are practicing merging awareness, he said, not losing individuality, but sharing perspective. Oh, an astral group chat, I said. Nice. What happened to old Earth? As we walked, the sky shifted colors like mood lighting, responding to collective emotion. Did Earth go through another calamity, I asked? War, AI takeover, something involving politicians? I was trying to find if this possible reality has any connection with some of the other possible reality timelines that I've described to you. Arjana shook her head. The major shifts came from within. Humans realized their emotions were being shaped by external systems, beliefs, fears, institutions. We dismantled them, not through revolt, but through non-participation. Taval added, once the mechanics of energy production were understood, we stopped leaking power to old structures. The structures dissolved. Just like that? I asked. You stop feeding a thing, he said. It dies. Touché. Where do people live? These homes, Arjana said, gesturing at the shimmering structures, are thought responsive. No one owns them. They are expressions of intent. You mean, I said, if someone has a bad day and thinks about a cave, their house turns into a cave? She shook her head. Not chaotic thought, she said. Coherent thought. Mastery eliminates randomness. So basically, humanity finally learned emotional self-control. It took us long enough. So, what are you now? I ask. Post-humans? Light beings? Really polite ghosts? Arjana held out her hand. A small sphere of brilliant blue light appeared. We are still human, she said, just not limited. We can shift density when needed. Physicality is optional. And sex, I asked, because someone had to. Arjana smiled. Also optional, but still meaningful. However, we no longer claim one another for lifelong bonds. We come together as our energies align and freely part as we evolve in different directions. Well, I guess I'm a bit old fashioned about marriage, but if it works for you, I commented. As my time there started to thin, I could feel my astral signals starting to recall me. Arjana placed a hand near my chest, not touching but radiating warmth. Tell your people this: the emotional energy you fear being harvested, learn to generate it consciously. Then no system can use you. She's talking about Luge. Taval nodded. And remember, awareness is portable. You bring it into every plane you visit. I wish I could bring back a roadmap that your people used to create this beautiful utopia, I mused. You can, they said together. We will gift you a rote that you can share with those of your time. Perhaps you can help plant the seeds that will one day become our world. The world around me suddenly brightened and everything turned white. Their voices faded. Return, Rick, and keep asking. I snapped back into my body like a rubber band, blinking, trying to figure out where I was. That's a constant problem with me. Anyway, as I realized I was back in my body, in my bed, I just kind of lay there thinking, the future isn't something we wait for. It's something that we stop feeding or start building. And then I kind of laughed to myself. Humans in the year 3000, they finally evolved enough to make us 2025 humans look like clueless idiots. It was then that I realized that I had their rote. It was burned into my consciousness. I rose from my bed, went to my office to transcribe their wisdom, and my visit to 3000 before all those images and wisdom faded. If you like this, please hit the like button, share it with those of like minds, subscribe if you haven't already, and comments and questions. What do you think about, after the year 3000? Is it all that you'd wish it to be? I mean, I got to tell you, it was very nice. It was one of the nicest, if not the nicest, possible future that I've ever seen. And I would dearly love to try to make something like that a reality, even if just in my own small little way. If you like this, please hit that like button. And, give me your questions and comments. I'm sure you guys have a lot of interesting stuff that you have to say. Would you like to visit this reality, or can you think of a better one? Let me know. At any rate, this is Rick, and I will see you on the astral plane.